with Dr. Sharmila and her daughter Ashley. Uh, Before we, go on to the introductions of the speakers, I would like to introduce our council member who is going to moderate the session, um, Dr. Manu. Dr. Manu Arun is a MD Pediatrics Gold Medalist from Sri Ramachandra Medical University. She is also a certified child and adolescent mental health expert from NIMHANS, Bangalore. She has a diploma in Montessori and child education from Bharat Sevak Samaj and is motor skills coach certified from Switzerland. She practices as a general pediatrician and child development consultant in her own clinic, Sri Narayana Child Clinic and Development Center in Chennai. In 2001, she founded and since then heads an inclusive Montessori nursery school with the objective of integration of mainly autistic children into mainstream schooling. Dr. Manu's foundation, Montessori School at Nungambakam with occupation therapy, physiotherapy, speech therapy, and special education. So over to you, Dr. Manu, to moderate this session.
Thank you, ma'am. Good evening, all. I feel privileged to introduce the speaker for today, Dr. Sharmila and Ashley. Dr. Sharmila is now an author, a medical entrepreneur, and a woman leader in healthcare. She is the founder of Inspira Skills, which is an enterprise that associates with taking skill development in the healthcare sector to the rural areas and making learning global for school children and children of universities and children who are in colleges. She arranges internships abroad and she brings the world together, I could say. And Ashley is her lovely daughter, not very far away from the tree. So Ashley and Sharmila today are here to tell us how they bonded over a business. Dr. Sharmila is, if I have to list all her credentials, I think the 1 hour sessions will be over. So I'm going to just tell the very the highest awards that she has got. She has got the 70th World Health Assembly, Geneva, Switzerland, Heroine of Health Award in May 2017, and she was the first one from India. There is a documentary about Dr. Sharmila by an Emmy Award winning director, Lisa Russell, and this also premiered in June 2017. She has won a scholarship for medicine and for her outstanding contributions in global health. She has a special recognition in Colombo, Sri Lanka for the Female Leaders Academy, FAME. So the list goes on. And Ashley and Dr. Sharmila together started, when Ashley was in 10th standard, a program called Parenteening, which is a platform where parents and teens can come to them and discuss about what issues they have. Now I have a teenager, so I know what we have. And so Sharmila has helped me a lot in that. So today, Sharmila is going to tell us how they found their bond, the parent and teen, Sharmila and Ashley, and they made some common ground. So I think every mother today who has a teen knows it's very difficult to come to a common ground with the children, no? A generation gap. We have something in our mind that works in certain way, and they have something else. But Dr. Sharmila worked it out with her daughter, and they have beautifully come out with this platform, and they are helping many more people. And they are also conducting public speaking workshops, leadership training, and both of them have been speakers and keynote speakers in many international programs. So welcome, Dr. Sharmila and Ashley. I'm very grateful to you for coming here, and I'm sure all of them will learn a lot from you, as I have. So can I start off with my first question straight away? Am I connected?
Yeah, please go ahead. Please go ahead, ma'am.
So Dr. Sharmila, this is a very special meeting because I don't think we can find another duo like you anywhere in the world. So please tell us how you started your journey and what brought you to thinking that you can have a platform for teenagers with your teenager, the entrepreneurship that you did as a family with a teenager. I think Dr. Sharmila has been disconnected.
Yes, Manu, yes. Both these things have been disconnected. Just let's give a few minutes. Manu, in between, you can talk about your son's, venture, and he's also an entrepreneur. He's also doing a lot of things. Why don't you just share with us a few words?
Sure, ma'am. Thank you for the opportunity, ma'am. My son, when he was in 5th standard, ma'am, I felt that he was just starting to have his body issues and, how he looks and what people think about him. And so at that time, I thought I needed something for to enhance his personality, to make him feel confident. And I felt he always looked at us as if, we were entrepreneurs and we were able to do so much, and children are not able to do all that. So introducing entrepreneurship to children brought out, their positivity, their confidence improved. I'm sure Dr. Sharmila will agree with me.
Yeah, they're back. I think they had some network issues. You can continue with them.
Dr. Sharmila, the question I was asking is, we want you to tell us what made you come about this idea of starting a company with your daughter.
Sure. So thank you so much. It's a pleasure meeting each and every one of you. Sorry about the technical glitch. I think Dr. Manu gave too much of an introduction that even our network had to get off and wow, come back again. So thank you again to Wiki Talks for having us over and, letting us share our story. It's a pleasure to meet each and every one of you and everyone watching live on Facebook. As mothers, there's something that we tend to be carrying in our heart, which is probably termed as the mother's guilt. We want to work at the same time. We want to take care of the family. We want to spend time with our children, and there's so much that we want to do, and that actually puts us at the end of the day. We feel like, have I done enough? Have I really done justice to my child? And the society also keeps telling you that, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to take care of your child, you need to put your dreams at the, back burner. And that's what I was told as well. But somewhere deep inside, I wanted to do more. And there was this passion of doing more for the community and with all the international experiences, which means if I had to really start spending time on my work, I also had to make sure that my daughter was occupied positively, so that somewhere I could sort of handle handle that guilt. But that's how it started on one side. But then the truthful story was, here I was on one side working 16 to 18 hours a day, trying to spread smiles and create skilling opportunity for children, and then I get called by my daughter's I had to go in for the parent teacher meeting, and she hadn't performed well. let's keep it at that. I'll let Ashley share that part of the story. She hadn't performed well, but then the teacher looked at me and she said, clearly, I don't think your child is socially capable. She needs to go into a special school. And that was sort of a wake up moment for me where I said, I don't think that is true. Maybe she's going through something that I'm not aware of, and I just can't let the world term my child as being socially incapable. So we started our journey together. It's not the quantity of time that we are able to spend with our children, but it's the quality of time. So we started relearning together, and it was, I'm going to let Ashley share parenting story, but for me, I just had to be there, support her and tell her, go do what you want to do. I'm there with you. I trust you no matter what. And this same girl who had not done really well, pretty much failed all subjects, was able to top her 10th grade, start her own venture, write her own book, go on to being someone who was able to do more than what was expected. So my point was, it's not what we started together, it's the journey that we built in together, which started blossoming into fantastic opportunities, not just for us to build our relationship, but for others as well. So I'm actually going to throw the ball to Ashley and ask her, how did parenting actually start, Ashley?
Okay, great question. Thank you, Mom, for that lovely answering of question. But I think for me, I've always looked up to my mom, and I think if any kid watching out there, we know that parents are just so inspirational. I mean, ever since you're born, you kind of look up to them and you learn from them. And while my mom was doing so many things, and I was always super impressed by her and super inspired by her journey. So entrepreneurship to me was always like just exciting and all of that. But I think what Mom said about us not being able to spend enough time together was a huge strain in our relationship. And I remember, I mean, this wasn't like a perfect relationship by we've had super hard fights, and sometimes we still do, but um, finding the middle ground was super important. So how we got started with the idea of parenting or starting a venture together was actually my mom was attending a business summit, and it was a 3-day summit, and she thought that it would be a good idea for me to come attend, because that would mean that we got to spend a little more time together. And for her, it was like having the cake and eating it as well. So she was taking care of her business as well as spending time with her daughter. And for me, it was cool because I was getting to miss a day of school because it was a Friday when we had to go attend. And then I think we started talking about what more we can do. And we thought it would be a cool idea to start a venture that helped us spend time together as well as, impact the world in a positive way. And yeah, that was the beginning of parenting.
Thank you, Ashley. So I'm so privileged to have been an observer of this evolution. So I would say, and that was very inspirational for all of us. So what I do with my son and what a lot of our classmates do with their children has greatly been, they have been the torchbearers. So thank you, both of you, for that. And whenever we fall back, we always go back to them. And they have a beautiful book called I Misunderstood, which both of them have authored together about their journey. And it's available on Amazon, and it's a bestseller. And it's a book to read if you have a teenager. I'll move on to the next question. Okay, so there are, I have always observed, Dr. Shabla, with all these projects that you've taken up, I don't know, I can't number them. I've always, when I called you on Sundays, you've told me it's a detox day, and there are, you don't watch television, right? You don't have a television at home. So these are some things I don't know how I will get my hand to. Can you please inspire us with those things that you do to keep time and mind in the right place.
Thank you, Manu. Thank you for that. So, actually, television to me is it. Of course, yes, it does bring the world news, and then it also is sort of a distractor for me to how do I put this? Time is the most precious resource for any entrepreneur, and that to startup entrepreneurs. So for me, that was pretty much my only resource into achieving or going after the dream that I wanted to, and I didn't want my time to get invested or wasted in areas. So Sundays was for us a bonding time where we just sit down and talk. If there was a TV, we'd just be watching the TV and eating, and then that, but the conversations could never happen. So in our book, I Misunderstood, the one thing that we've spoken about is honest and open conversations. The more and more conversations that we are able to have with our children, the more and more they are learning from us, and more we are learning from them. So it's not about as parents, as the perfectionist moms. I'm just going to talk from my perspective. There was a time where I used to find everything wrong with Ashley under the sun. This is not right, that's not right. But to everyone else outside, I'd say, my daughter is really nice, this, that, everything I'd go and tell outside. But with Ashley, I'd be very critical, finding the littlest faults. But when someone else found the fault with my daughter, that's when I realized I was actually branding my daughter and instilling that thought into her. So I consciously took that away, and I started recognizing the good things in her. Even the smallest thing she'd say or do, I'd go gaga over it and say, oh, baby, that's so nice. But all of this really requires that we invest our time into our children. And the one way that I was able to do was to take TV out of my life, bring learning and development into our life. It's not like we don't, the best thing that we like to do together as mom and daughter is turn on Netflix, watch a movie together, have biryani, all of that, but we create memories in the past. And it's like we talk so much. I've heard of parents with teenagers saying that, my children don't talk to me at all. That's because we are finding fault with them the whole time. We cannot instruct, we cannot instruct our children, but we can always inspire our children, and that's what I've been trying to do, Manu.
Ashley, can you tell us about how did you take this up, all these disciplining rules that your mom put? Something that you both came together, wrote it down together, worked it out together?
I mean, I think it's such a process, in my opinion. It's never easy, especially creating habits or, changing your bad habits to good habits and all of that. But I think with my mom and I, we've always wanted to have a larger vision at mind. So for us, it's parenting and wanting to create a million smiles. And I think that kind of gets you out of bed. And, say one day, I'm lagging or I'm watching too much Netflix or just doing something, then I kind of remind myself that, you know what, Ashley, I mean, you've been put onto this world to do something, and are you doing it today? So it's a lot of hard self-introspection. And I also think it's about finding balance. My mom, and I'm going to expose you a little bit here, Ma. But so my mom, she's amazing, but she's a little bit of a workaholic. Okay, so if you let her, she will get up in the morning and keep working till nighttime, and then finally, one day when she gets sick, it's like her body catches up to her. So while so one of the things that my mom and I consciously try to do is work as well as have fun and play. So it's like that saying, work hard, play harder. So it's all about, I think, trying to balance it out. And when you do, I think life becomes super enjoyable. So it's definitely a process.
Okay, thank you so much. Do you have like a percentage of a week or a day that you dedicate to, fun or TV or anything like that? Have you got a number?
Oh yes, like my best friend's actually watching right now. So I definitely have that one day where I don't study, I don't work. All I do is just have fun with my friends. Even on a day-to-day basis, I do my best to balance between spending time with my mom and giving her love as well as working. So I think it's like right, I try my best to make it 50-50, but I don't think that's possible. So sometimes it's like 60-40 at best.
In fact, I'd like to add on here, like Ashley said, I'm this workaholic. I can keep going on and on and on. And I actually basically what I do is I help make these strategic connections between India and US and UK industry and institutions. So it's like good morning, I start working in India, and when it's in the evening, I say good morning and I start working with my counterparts in the US or UK and all of that. So I can just keep going. But I actually learned that I need to take time off for myself. I need to take care of myself and pamper myself. And thanks to Ashley, she forced it down, and she's like, on this day we take time off, period. No attending phone calls, no nothing. So what I have to do is, before Ashley gets up, I finish up my meetings, and after Ashley is done for the day, I have the rest of the meeting. But it's all about making time for our families. And it's also, if we are humble enough to learn, our children actually have so much to teach us. And I've learned a lot from Ashley, and that's been my greatest revelation. I wanted to be this perfect mom, but being the mom actually taught me a lot of stuff.
The next question is to Ashley. Ashley, so how did you come up with this homeschooling idea? Because a lot of us have a lot of opinions about that. So how did you decide that? When I first heard that you're going to be doing homeschooling your 11th and 12th, I was also having what about socialization? So with you started your business when you were in 10th, so you had to run your business and take care of your academics. So how what were the advantages and the disadvantages, and what would you like to tell other people who should decide to go on to homeschooling sector, and also tell us how other teens like you can take up entrepreneurship from school and moving forward?
Sure. I think honestly, I'll tell you that, my whole life has kind of been an experiment, according to me. So for me, it's like I've always wanted to try new things. And if it works, then great. If it doesn't work, then at least I've learned something from it. So 10th grade, going to school, as well as running a business, being a speaker, it was great, but it was definitely a lot. But somehow I was able to manage it. And I had a few friends who were doing homeschooling, and I just thought it was a really cool concept. Of course, just like you said, I had my own reservations as well. What about the social aspect of it? How will I be able to actually properly study? Is this going to affect my college? And the most of all, how is my mom going to take it? Me wanting to do homeschooling, or how is my family going to react? All of that. But I feel like, so my 10th marks came in, I looked at it, and then I get on a call with my mom, and I tell her, you know what, I feel like for the last 14 years of my life, I've gone to school, and 14, 15 years of my life, I've gone to school, and now I feel like it's time for a change. And my mom was shocked, okay? So I couldn't hear her speak for like 2 minutes, and she's like, you're not planning to drop out of school or something, are you? And I tell her, no, ma, I feel like I want to do homeschooling. And I think it was a huge shock to her. But just like my mom said, we had an open conversation about it. We had this huge whiteboard in our house, and we wrote the pros list, the cons list, and somehow we decided that it was worth a shot. And it's been great. I feel like homeschooling is like a roller coaster. So it has its ups, it has its downs, and you kind of just I think it's all about whether or not it fits you. Um, I think for me, the reason I wanted to take up homeschooling was to focus more on parenting, and with homeschooling, I've been able to achieve that. So during the lockdown, we were able to teach about 10,000 kids public speaking, and they were able to deliver their first error-free speech by the end of the program. And I don't think I could have done that if I hadn't concentrated on entrepreneurship. And that was possible because of homeschooling. Now, coming to the drawbacks, it's definitely pretty hard to deal with your social life and doing studying. It can get pretty isolating at times. So it's very important for you to be able to join clubs or have understanding friends and just keep socializing in any way that you can. So that's something that I think we've had to work on. But I feel like with COVID coming up, all of us are homeschooled, and whether we like it or not, it's something that we're having to deal with. And it's all about making the most out of it. And I think that's what we've been trying to do with parenting as well. Now, for kids coming into entrepreneurship, I truly think that entrepreneurship just teaches you so much about yourself. And it's like entrepreneurship pushes you to become a better person, and it pushes you to become a leader. I started off with interning for my mom's company, and it's crazy how much entrepreneurs do. And it's like you need to be nice to people, you need to fix your own schedule, you need to manage your time, you need to keep your mental health at like a good point at all times. And I just think that if you're someone who is fortunate enough to have the resources to try entrepreneurship out, you definitely should, because it's a process where you'll grow into a better person. And we actually run a program called Business Setup Challenge, where we help kids set up their own business and become entrepreneurs. And we've had 7-year-olds set up and run their business and create websites. And my question is, if they can do it, then what's stopping you from doing it?
Thank you so much, Ashley. Dr. Sharmila, last year, Dr. Sharmila helped me bring out a book in Amazon, my own book on feeding, how to feed children step by step, reduction from 6 months onwards. So thank you, Dr. Sharmila. And there was a lot of insight she gave to me, why I should write a book and why I should put it up on Amazon, and why being an author, what it will do to my brand value. So Dr. Sharmila, can you please share with all the entrepreneurs here today how writing a book and being an author would add on to their profile, and so that you can inspire a lot of women here to come out with books this year.
Absolutely. Thank you, Dr. Manu. So again, like Ashley said, Ashley's life and our journey together has pretty much been a complete experiment. There's been a lots of ups and a lots of downs. So here, the reason I started writing a book, or we started doing that, was to bring out our, the positive side in us outside. That's exactly the reason why we started. So we started learning and doing things together as different perspectives. But that author status, actually, it's like it puts you on a notch above everyone else. If 100 people start writing a book, only 3% complete the book, and 1% of that go on to being published authors. So that's the kind of value that a book can add to your journey. And as entrepreneurs, how do you set yourself apart? in the crowd. There's like this crowd all over, there's competition all over. How do you set yourself apart is only when people see you as an authority in that field. And that authority you get by being an entrepreneur. And like I said, our journey of experimenting together, I was very passionate, let me put the right word, very passionate about making Ashley, understand her full potential. I was in the journey together with her, but as a mother and as a doctor, I knew that the child had so much inside her. And I'm sure this is the same feeling that all mothers have. If that's the truth, I actually want to see a yes in the comment section from all the amazing ladies watching out there. As mothers, we really know that our child has so much inside them, the potential. But writing a book actually helps you bring that potential out and actually also gives you the recognition in the world. How many of you think that's true? And I really want to know from you. I know this is a one way, but I always love conversations. See, absolutely true. Thank you so much, Dr. Rajshri. Thank you so much, Abhirami ma'am. The fact is, if a 7-year-old can write a book in 1 week's time, do you think as entrepreneurs we can write a book? The answer to that is yes. Absolutely yes. And when you write a book, you not only put yourself in the authority space, you also end up inspiring so many people. And as far as Dr. Manu was concerned, I've known Dr. Manu from college days, and I know this. I don't know if I should call her lady or girl or friend. She's always been a bundle of possibilities. But she's always taken that back step and let everyone else and everything else go in front of her. I literally had to push her and say, do it now. And when she got it today, every mother with the young baby, the biggest challenge that they have is how can I feed the baby? And her book, in just those couple of pages, she's able to help the mother like this. It's like just going through her book, any mother can feed their baby. So that is what each and every one of you amazing entrepreneurs, I would say entrepreneurship is not just running a business. I'm sure each one of you, you're solving a problem. If you can actually put it out as a book and let the world know it, and we do that. We like the business setup challenge, we have something called as the book writing challenge. And trust me, in 1 week's time, not only Dr. Manu's son also wrote the book. And that's beautiful, when a parent and a teen can come together and they can write a book together. Trust me, that was, I misunderstood, was such a boon in Ashley and my life, was that her 10th exam, board exams were there. And we had to finish the book and give the manuscript just about 3 days before the board exam. And this was so difficult that the 10th board exam became such a cakewalk for her. So it's like, how do you look at things and how can you be the problem solver is what makes a difference. And definitely a book is something that can not just build your value, it can make you the brand. So that's what happened.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And if any of the ladies here want to author a book, so they can approach you, you'd help them out and guide them.
Yes, ma'am.
So, Ashley, so what are your college plans now? Entrepreneurship is your path ahead?
Yes, I mean, with COVID going on, I'm not sure when my 12th exams are going to happen. So it's a very to be decided thing. I mean, I guess I'll keep you posted, but yeah, entrepreneurship is definitely my baby. So I would love to continue doing that. But yeah, I think I'm gonna be a part-time student and a full-time teen entrepreneur.
So are there any courses that see if somebody else, a 12th student, also wants to take up to entrepreneurship as their path? Are there any courses which you come across?
Well, yeah. I'm going to add on a little bit there. Today with COVID being on top of it, all these international universities are also offering diploma sort of programs for children who finish their 12th right here, so that they can, instead of just staying, they can, go ahead and get a degree sitting at home from any international institution. That's just one aspect that I thought I'll put it out here. The world has actually become a very small place. It's become a global village that there used to be a time that we had to go into colleges and do stuff and all of that. Now colleges are actually coming into your bedroom, to be to keep it simple. So it's just about how much are you willing to take experiment and move forward. That makes a difference. And because Ashley's done extensive research, I'll pass it on to Ashley. Go ahead, Ashley.
Okay, so a lot of colleges are putting an important emphasis on entrepreneurship. So even in courses like BBA and BCom, a lot of focus is being put on how you need to be an entrepreneur and how to solve a problem and all of that. So I guess if you're someone who's interested in entrepreneurship, it really depends on where you want to study and how you want to study. But there are so many courses available, like Mom said, offline as well as online, and there are so many platforms, and I think education.
Ashley's videos.
Yeah, there seems to be a little lag in the voice.
Yeah.
Um,
Dr. Sharmila, you are able to hear us?
no, I think there is a problem at her end as well.
Yeah.
Just a couple of minutes, Abhi.
Yeah. In the meanwhile, Manu, can you just share with us your experience?
There seems to be an overall network lag.
Yeah.
1 minute, I'm just checking
Yeah.
out. Dr. Manu, are you able to hear us? Are the other council members able to hear us? The other attendees, participants?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
we can hear Raj.
Seems to be a problem at their end.
Yes. Manu, you're
Maybe
able to
we
hear
can-
us?
Yeah, I think now Dr. Manu has joined back.
Yeah. Manu, you're able to hear us?
I'm able to hear you. Some of
Yeah.
people have left. Oh, because mine also got switched off.
Okay.
So
So,
Dr. Sharmila, Ashley have lost their connection.
yes. Let them come back. Yeah, Dr. Sharmila is back.
Yes, Manu, I'm back. Looks
Like
like we're having
so Dr.
technical challenges.
So Dr. Sharmila,
Yes.
Dr. Sharmila, so we're advising that school children should take up entrepreneurship courses online as they are in school. That will help them. So they
Oh,
can
yes,
access.
absolutely. So I basically work with parents and help them connect with children better. That's one thing that I'm doing. Apart from that, it's like children have so many options of experiential learning programs where they can take up and experiment so many things while they're still in school. In fact, pre-COVID, what I used to do is take students to Stanford and Harvard for short-term learning programs and get them exposed to the different areas that they can, look at. Me, while you know my story, but I'd like to share. I started off as a doctor, and Dr. Manu and I are classmates. I finished my MBBS. By the time I finished medicine, I was married. By the time I finished my internship, I was pregnant. So I couldn't really continue my education. And then what happened was, since I was sitting at home, taking care of the child, driving myself and everyone around me crazy, I just, applied to BITS Pilani to get my MPhil in hospital administration. So I went from patient care to hospital administration. And once I finished that, then I Chumma applied to to US to get my MBA in healthcare, and Ashley was 3 years old. I got selected in the university, and the one person who said, "Go, ma, I'll take care of myself," was actually Ashley. So I had to leave her behind, go to the US, get my education done. So I went from patient care to hospital management to international healthcare, global health domain. And from there, once I finished, I went as a student, then I got on to managing an international hospital, becoming the associate director. I mean, the reason I'm sharing this is, till that time, I was not even sure where my, my course of journey was going. There was so much of changes. And then in 2010, I came back from US. I moved to UP and started working with WHO and district administration. And that's when my entrepreneurship journey started. So patient care, hospital management, international global health, to community health and public care, and then entrepreneurship. It went a whole cycle around. And today also, if you ask me, so what is it that you want to do? The one thing that I'll say is, I'm still work in progress. I'm still trying to figure out if this is what our journey can be. Why do we put our children into one area and say, this is what you have to do? When we give them choices and we expose them to so many opportunities, both inside and outside of India, their minds opens up to so a lot of possibility. So if you actually ask me if this was what I expected for Ashley like 3 years back, I didn't even know. But by just giving her these opportunities, it's like she has taken on something that has really excited her. And even, let me tell you one thing, do you really think this is what Ashley is going to be doing for the next throughout her life? The answer is, I still don't know. But I trust, and I'm going to be there in her journey and allow her to make as many mistakes as possible, because a mistake and a failure teaches a child so much more than what success can teach. That's my understanding.
So you mean that let them make the mistakes when we are around, so we can always back them up, right?
Very,
so start
very
early.
Yes, ma'am. So it's like, now you are the, pretty much the net there, the safety net. They can fall. You will still be there to catch them. It's okay.
Okay. And I'd like you to tell us all the various activities you do, because it'll be useful for others if they want someone to enroll with, so the various programs that you do.
I'm going to let Ashley get to the parenting part. I'll talk about the skill development one. Ashley, do you want to talk about parenting?
Sure. So with parenting, our main focus right now is making sure kids are becoming the best versions of themselves. And there are a bunch of things that kids can do that will help them increase self-confidence and just make them realize their self-worth. And it also just, there are so many new experiences to it, but it also helps you for when you want to apply to college and just CV building in general. So our biggest program so far has been a program called Public Speaking Mastery, where we take students through this 5-day journey where they learn how to be a public speaker. So we teach them everything from, how to dress, how to talk, how to write their speech and present it in a good way. So the the whole crux of it is that they're able to deliver their first error-free speech in 5 days. So we've had kids from the age of 4 take up the program, and it's really amazing to see the kind of things that they're able to come up with. Other things that we help kids with is setting up their business. So if anyone wants your children to become entrepreneurs, young entrepreneurs, then that would be the perfect course for you. But another thing that we do is we help kids write their own books and become published authors. So Dr. Manu's son, Shashank, he is actually an entrepreneur as well as an author. And it's just really cool to see the amazing things that us kids can do once we're given the opportunity to do it, and also with super supportive parents. So I'm really grateful to have my mom in my life. And I know that everyone watching, I'm sure that you have your children's best interests in mind. So if no one has told you today, then I'm so appreciative of you, and I just want to thank you for doing all that you do for your child or children. Yeah, so yay.
Wow, that is so sweet, Ashley. That was really nice. Thank you so much. I've learned a lot being your mom. It's like sometimes you just have to keep up with children, and the more you keep up with them, the more you learn from them. So like Ashley said, all of these small little programs help children build their CV. That's what parenting does. And on my company side, what I do is I work with leading colleges both inside and outside India, and I help them make these strategic partnerships. When I say partnerships, somewhere when 1+1 comes, it's not 2, but it becomes 11. So I try to take Indian best education outside, and I try to bring the best education that's available outside to India and create these learning platforms for children. So when children do all of this, what happens is suddenly their mind opens up to a lot of possibility. Like Ashley said, we are on this million smiles journey where I believe, and I'm very particular about it. Even President Ma'am had written, every child has a genius inside, and if we allow that genius to grow, we can actually bring the genie outside. When we bring that genie outside, then the child becomes unstoppable. And I believe every child needs to have that possibility. And if there's a way we can do it, I think that's one thing that it seems to be our life purpose. And or let me put it as my life purpose. The one thing that I've actually enjoyed in all of the hats, the doctor hat, the entrepreneurship hat, the international consultant hat, the one hat that I love wearing is the work in progress mother hat, because I believe that all children, when you make them realize that they have it inside them, wow.
Can you tell us about your program for the underprivileged people too, ma'am?
Yes.
What about the...
So what I actually do is I work with the Ministry of Skills Development and Entrepreneurship, and we run the short-term as well as long-term vocational training programs where I work with children who are in the marginalized society in the rural areas, and I help them get training on various healthcare programs. It's like X-ray technician, phlebotomist, general duty assistants, all of these. I've been doing it with GE Healthcare and Tata Trust. So we make the programs affordable for children. We get them trained. And also what we do is we get them placed in hospitals all around. So while they go in as interns to these hospitals and start actually earning that stipend. Sometimes, it's what is really interesting is that these stipends are more than what the family actually makes. And by the time their program is done, they get certified by the central government and they get full-time jobs. So this is where the documentary was, and for bringing more women into the healthcare field. These stories, if you really see, are life-changing stories. When you're able to educate one child, one woman, you change the entire family. So just to share one quick story there, our student was a 39-year-old cook who came, walked to me and said, Madam, can I also study? Enakku padikkanum paravallaya. He said, okay, come on, go ahead, study. What's the big deal? She went through the program, and today she is employed in one of the leading corporate hospitals in Chennai. And the best part is the story doesn't end there. Her son is studying in Loyola College. So that's the change there, which it at the end of it, it feels nice. So you asked me, how do I manage time? It's like you're managing lives, you're creating change. So it's always exciting to know that even if it's one life saved, one life transformed, it's absolutely worth the journey.
That's very inspiring, ma'am. And so these are all 12th passed students?
Right from 8th pass students, there are jobs available. 8th pass. See, while healthcare, and that too with the current situation, there are need for frontline health workers, and there are various programs. It's called job roles that is being prescribed. So 8th pass, they have a set of job roles. 10th pass, they have a set of job roles. 12th pass, they have a set of job roles. So various job roles. It's called skill development. See, one side you have the degree and diploma that colleges and universities offer. These are vocational skills which offer certificate programs as well as diploma programs, which gives the student an opportunity not just to learn but to go in for employment. So these are employment oriented programs. I see a question down
what about the economics and the state?
Sorry?
What about the economics and the staying, ma'am? Do they come from villages and do they get accommodation?
See, actually, this is what we used to do. We used to take these courses closer to the students. There was this place in Tirukkalukundram, which is about 100 kilometers from Chennai. We used to send our teachers there and get the students trained closer to home. And then we had them move for jobs to Chennai. And when they come here for jobs, the hospital actually provides accommodation also. And there are sometimes even government supports in this. There are a lot of government related programs which is called PMKVY, Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana, which pays the student for travel, it pays them for stay, and pays them to get the study also done. So it's like there are various programs that's available. And even if entrepreneurs
you do this in Chennai?
Yes, absolutely.
So it is only Chennai?
And if people are interested, sorry, your voice is breaking, Manu.
You also do this in other districts, ma'am, other than Chennai?
Completely. This is something that is available, and if someone wants to talk to me, my email ID has been put out there, and I'm available on Instagram and Facebook, and anywhere. Just reach out to me. I actually help entrepreneurs start their own skilling ventures. That's something that we've been doing, and more than happy to help. In fact, under the Ministry of Skills Development, there's something called as National Skill Development Corporation. And under that, there are 23 different sectors with small job roles, which you can, right from beauty, health and wellness, technology, lots and lots are there. And healthcare has been my favorite area where, you change lives. That's what it is. And I see a question down there also, Dr. Mani, you want to read that out, or it's addressed to both of us? Ashley and Dr. Sharmila, one of the most important skills that an entrepreneur needs is self-discipline. As a teen, how did you work on that, especially as a homeschooler? Ashley, I think that question is for you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Prabha ma'am. That was a great question. And I guess I'm still trying to figure it out. For me, like having a reward system works. So I tell myself that I'm going to finish this one chapter and then, do something that I love. Or how I finished writing my book with my mom is that after every chapter that we finished, we would go out and get pizza. So that was motivation enough for me to actually, stay on track. But definitely I'm not, I'm going to be completely honest here. Sometimes it does get hard to balance studying and working and having fun with friends. And my mom and I have countless discussions on how some things are not fair or some things are overwhelming, and other things. But it's all about taking one day at a time and doing your best every day. So yeah, and I think I have a really cool mom who supports me through it all. And on my down day, she gives me her hugs and a lot of love. So that definitely helps a lot.
Wow, that's so sweet, Ashley. Thank you so much. And from my side, yes, self-discipline, what I've seen is something that's absolutely essential. And I've realized that none of us are actually perfect. So being imperfect and accepting the imperfection sort of make sure that you don't beat yourself up, but tracking progress really helps. That's one thing that we've been doing. We celebrate our wins and we track progress, and it's one day at a time. It's just one day at a time. The one thing that I would definitely like to leave with parents is your children never obey you, but they always follow you. So before we go ahead and try and implement something with our children and want them to do it, a minute of introspection, asking yourself, am I doing it? Am I being, I actually have a very lovely story here. This happened when Ashley was 3 years old. Okay, 3 years old. I take this child, put her on my lap, and I say, come baby, I'm going to cut your nails. This girl at 3 years, she looks up at me like this and she says, you haven't cut your nails. Okay. So from then on, I've just been a little careful when I tell Ashley something. I just have to be sure that I've done it first before telling her that. So that sort of self-regulation helped.
So thank you so much for all these insights. So do we have any more questions? Rajshri ma'am, do you want to take it up? And maybe it's time 5:58.
Wow, one hour.
Yeah, sure. If there are any more questions, then we can address a few more questions. Any questions?
If we can talk, we can keep talking, I think. I have a lot of more questions, but I think our time is up.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest, takeaways for me, which I have also tried to implement in my parenting, is to be very humble and open to what our children are trying to tell us. And I think that always gets the team forward, because I think as a generation, it's very important for us to keep in mind that our children are exposed to so much more information, distractions, pressures that we never faced as children. So when we understand those dynamics and we try to find a middle ground with our children rather than having a heavy-handed approach to parenting, I think it makes a big difference to the child and to the parents, makes it a happy experience. So I would like to thank Dr. Sharmila and Ashley. What a wonderful speaker you are. Amazing.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, very articulate. And I really like the way you put your points across. So it's great to have you both here. So if there are any more questions, we can take one or two. Otherwise, we would like to ask our council member, Dr. Srimati, to give her, to thank Dr. Sharmila and Ashley, expression of gratitude, as we call it.
Thank you, Raj. Thanks for that. And I think 1 hour just, Zoom pass. If I have to tell it in my language, I think, it took off. The rocket just took off. My goodness, what an amazing duo you guys are. You know, wow. I initially when you started off, you know, I felt that Tare Zami Par song was haunting in my mind, you know. मैं कभी दिखलाता नहीं, मैं अंधेरे से डरता हूँ माँ. You know, till you understood Ashley, till you understood why she flunked in all these, you know, exams and everything, and how she went on to become a topper, and the journey of writing a book. Oh my God, amazing, amazing, mind blowing, I should say, this session was. And it's always a treat to watch a mom and daughter, you know, and both of them doing together, writing a book together. Wow, that's an inspiration to a lot of people. And great job, guys. Keep doing the great. And Harbin to come in today was a real surprise, I should say,
I
Raj.
know.
Don't you think
It
so?
took me by surprise totally. When I felt I should have asked her to say a few words, but we were just all set to, you know, to start. And she said, yeah, go ahead. So
That was very nice. That was a
very
sweet
sweet of her.
gesture.
Very sweet of her.
Absolutely.
Dr. Sharmila, Dr. Harbin Arora is our global chairperson. She's the founder of All Ladies League, the Women Economic Forum, as well as the Women's Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industry.
Yes,
So it
ma'am.
was just
I've known her, and in fact, I've spoken at the Women Economic Forum as well. What an inspirational lady she is. Absolutely admire her.
yeah, it was an
So
honor
that
to
was a
have her for
real,
a few minutes.
that was a real sweet gesture.
Very
And Dr. Manu, fantastic question. Lovely. You know, I think you brought out the true essence of the mother and daughter. No wonder you've been great friends with her, a classmate of hers. So you could bring in the essence, true essence of the whole conversation. And huge thanks to Abhirami as always. She's been a backbone, a spine to all our technical stuff. And Raj, she starts off, you know, she puts things so beautifully about everybody, and she just starts off with a beautiful smile, which I really appreciate. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, council members, for coming in. Thank you, audience, for watching this wonderful mom and daughter duo. Thanks for giving me this opportunity to speak a few words. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Have a beautiful evening. I know there is a lot of negativity around, but just stay around, keep as much as calm as possible, spread positivity as much as possible, keep that beautiful stretch on your lips always. Good evening.
we need a lot
And
of
have a
positive
beautiful
energy.
evening.
Absolutely. I think Prabha said it all. The world
Namaskar.
is in safe hands with youngsters like you, Ashley. Amazing session. So thank you for taking the time. Thanks everybody for taking the time to attend. Thank you, Srimati, for the beautiful expression of gratitude. And thank you, Dr. Manu. It was a
Thank you, Raj.
wonderfully moderated session. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much.